to see how to calculate your taxes in C++ programming. Here I wrote already the program. I'm going to explain the program of it and run the program. Here first we use header files, and here we open the bracket where the logical beginning of the compiler has started. Here we assigned some variables in int, which is the basic amount, the allowance amount, and the deduction and gross. In float data type, we assigned the tax because the tax could be in decimals, so we assigned it in float. Next, we asked the user to enter the basic payment of theirs. So I wrote in printf enter the basic payment, and for accepting I used scanf and stored it in basic variable, and same for allowance and same for detection. Now I wrote the formula for gross as it is needed for future calculations in our program, which are coming next. Gross is equal to basic plus allowance minus detection. That would be your gross. And next I use the if condition. If basic is greater than 5000, it goes into the next if, which is I used here nested if. So if basic is equal to basic is greater than 5000, then it comes down to this category, which is if gross is lesser than or equal to 10,000, then tax is equal to, now this is comes the tax formula. If gross is lesser than or equal to 10,000, tax is equal to gross multiplied by 0.1. So if gross is lesser than or equal to 10,000, it comes to this formula, and we say printf slash n, that is it comes to new line and says the tax for whatever they gave, that is percentage d, whatever they gave is this much tax. So we are assigning this percentage d is gross and this percentage f is tax. If it is greater than 10,000, this statement executed. Tax is equal to gross multiplied by 0.2. Printf, that is it executes if gross is greater than 10,000, this statement else statement is executed. This else statement is executed, and printf the slash n comes to the new line. The tax for how much the gross is, that is the respective tax. Now it we close the nested if the basic payment is lesser than 5000, here this else statement is executed, that is there is no tax for them. Now we run and see this program. See, it asks to enter the basic pay. Let me give like 7,800, and I give enter. It is asking the allowance. Allowance I'm gonna give like 6,000, and the detection like 2,000. Now if I give this, the tax for 11,800. It was calculating, which is calculating this gross. Gross is equal to basic plus allowance, which is 7,800 plus 6,000 minus 2,000, which is 11,800. It calculated that, and it gave me this 2360 as tax, as 11,800 is greater than 10,000. It comes to this L statement, and the gross, which is 11,800, is multiplied by 0.2. The tax for 11,800, which is percentage, the gross is percentage of that is tax 2360.0000. It gave 00 because we gave it in float, so it gave us 00. For example, this is syntax 1. For example, let me clear it. For example, if I gave basic payment as 4,000 and allowance as 7,000, this is for example. So I'm giving random numbers, and it is like 100 detection. Enter. See, there is no tax because in here first if statement is basic is greater than 5,000. It comes to these if statements. But if basic is lesser than 5,000, it comes to this else statement and says no tax. Here is the other condition. Other syntax, which is, let me run the program. The second, this else statement has been executed. Now this else statement also executed. For this one, we have to give like 6,000 and allowance 1,000 and detection 2,000. Now our tax for here, see this if statements. If gross is lesser than or equal to 10,000, see this 5,000, it's lesser than 10,000. So this statement has been processed, and this gross multiplied by 0.1 is 500. So here the tax for 5,000, which is the gross percentage D, is 500.000000, which is percentage of the tax. So that's all for today's video.